Rush into your enemies, not fearing death. Suck them dry. Blast out blood surges of death and doom. High overpower crits. Your minions also blood surging. And interestingly enough, soaking life out of the opponents too. Yes, for some reason your minions never die again. Plus, we added corpse tendrils to the whole bunch because the golem was good, but pulling everything together and then boop, 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 whooping everything away is way too much fun. Hi, welcome to the Undying Blood Surge Summoner Endgame update. We reached level 90 plus, and it's absolutely brilliant, clearing 50 plus nightmare tiers. We're sitting at a whooping 15,000 attack power with 7,000 armor and 13,000 life almost. That should update to around 18,000 life is kind of what I'm aiming for. And this is the Paragon node I'm thirsting for the most. Tenacity. 8% maximum life plus, another 2%, another 2%, and another 2%. I need it. But first, the skills. There's a lot of changes to the first version. We're still playing Hemorrhage, and I'll get to that. Hemorrhage is vastly better than Reap, despite Reap working on a per enemy basis. That has a lot to do with the aspects we're using, so place trust on that one. With the enhanced Hemorrhage and also bonus attack speed on Hemorrhage while healthy. Then we're going for Unliving Energy, 1 single point, and triple points on the Imperfectly Balanced. It does not perfectly work with Overpower, but it works without Overpower. So while you're not overpowering, you get the bonus damage and you mitigate the minus essence really easily with 1 single item. Now, Blood Surge as many points as possible. Your Overpower doesn't care as many points are in Blood Surge, but realistically, you also overpower X times not. So that's where it matters. Followed up by Enhanced Blood Surge for the heal, which is 600 plus heal per Blood Surge, and then Paranormal Blood Surge for the overwhelming one. Fast forward, we're using the Blood Mist to overpower cooldown reduction, and also have the Skeletal Warrior Mastery because we're obviously playing the Blood Surge Summoner, and then Fueled by Death. Yes, Fueled by Death. Interestingly enough, by using your Raise Skeleton skill to give your skeletons more damage and heal them, you also use Fueled by Death. You actually do not need Corpse Explosion for that, and we don't want Corpse Explosion. Also, a reason why we're not using this to regain essence, it's very simple because the attack speed shenanigans we're doing doesn't work on Corpse Explosion. Now, 3 points in damage reduction and a little bit more damage, the bonus damage on cursed enemies, and on top of that, Decrepify with a cooldown reduction, Skeletal Mastery, which perfectly works together with Corpse Tendrils. Yes, Corpse Tendrils. And I'll make sure to also drop a link in the description below where a level path is from 1 to 50 for the people that just started new and want to try this out to know where exactly at which level put every single point. And the Corpse Tendrils, they make vulnerable. That is more reliable than the Golem because we can now spam this and also pull together the whole room. 1 point in Gruesome Mending, 3 points in Coil Assist Blood in here. And this is the most important skill. And I see some people in the comments that haven't understood this. Drain Vitality has a lucky hit. Hitting enemies with blood skill is up to a 25% chance to fortify you for 8% of base life. Now, Blood Surge only has 15% lucky hit chance. That's extremely low. And you would say, Pony, it's absolutely not worth it to play Drain Vitality. But as you see, I'm constantly fortified. And there's one thing that comes in play here. When you're actually using the Death Speaker's Pendant and your minions are getting mini novas around them, these mini novas are just like the Ring of Mendel, your novas that scale with your damage, that also do your lucky hit chance stuff. So every single minion nova, every single, 12 bonus novas that we're getting, 11, they have a chance to fortify me. So I'm constantly fortified because me and the boys, me and the lads, we're fortifying. Interestingly enough, and I'm an absolute idiot, I notice I have 3 points in Golem Mastery still, which I absolutely don't need because we just recently cut the Golem. Ooh, that's actually very good. You have 2 choices now. Since you're making some corpses with the Reapers, you could go for Necrotic Carapace to actually get a bonus in Fortifying. But what I would honestly do, and I think it's very simple, 3 points in Death Reach, because distant enemies are the enemies that do not stand in your melee range. So that is often happening with Blood Surge because you can stand very close with Blood Surge, but you can also stand a little bit further away. I mean, only because you're grasping Vayne's thumb doesn't mean you have to stand in their nuts. You could also stand like arm lengths and further away where you couldn't melee them anymore. And then Death Reach, 12 times bonus increased damage. Easy. We have 3 points in bonus attack speed for more essence. And then only 2 points in death defense because 50% or 30% damage loss with one hit is okay. And the 10% health is enough because, again, your minions actually heal with the Death Speaker's Pendant. It's weird, but it works. Also, Rathma's Vigor. 12 seconds. 12 seconds is so good. It's so crazy. People don't like it for some reason, but it's so easy to just spam with it away and do copious amounts of damage. Now, after we went through the skills, a quick gameplay loop explanation. When you see a horde of enemies, you have a choice. You can curse, send your minions in to make a corpse. What I prefer is I go in with a blood mist because, I mean, first and foremost, the blood mist could kill everything already, and then you got it all down. But mainly it's for the blood mist to actually create a corpse, because as soon as you create a corpse, you can do corpse sandals, curse, and destroy everything. Obviously, the blood mist works with Rathma's Vigor stacks, so it straight up gets that super damage out. But mainly, you just want to do 1, 2, 3 corpses. Again, pull everything together, curse him, destroy him. Preferable you curse before you go in, because if you curse before you go in, you already get cooldown reduction on your blood mist. So you curse and then blood mist if you have it available and you're not a bot. Then you can pull them together and already have some reduction happening and completely obliterate the whole existing board. And nothing should remain. Oh, there's the Seizing Abomination. Fill your essence up. You saw how quick that goes. And against the boss, you blast your essence empty, then fill it instantly back up, blast your essence empty. And in between, don't forget to actually use your minion skill, because your minion skill again is fueled by death for another 9% bonus damage. Now for the aspects, and they work perfectly together. I do use the Death Speaker's Pendant because it's so good. It's the Blood Surge. It's the item made for Blood Surge Summoner. It's summoning skill damage, blood skill damage, overpower damage, rank scroll assist blood, and I know I'm missing 2 there, and I could boost my damage even more. The Mini Nova, the damage is increased by the Mini Nova for draining more targets. How can this not be beautiful? How can this not be amazing? Interestingly enough, it even says damage is increased by 10% per target drained. So it indicates that your minions get the drain, the actual life leech, and it keeps them alive. Hold up by the Mother's Embrace, and I finally found an upgraded one. If a core skill hits 5 or more enemies, 40% of the resource cost is refunded. You get this from finishing the campaign. I found later one with 801 item power, which has 40% overpower damage now. All stats, lucky hit chance, critical strike damage. It's perfect. It's also with the overpower damage made for the. There is no question. Are you going to play this with overpower? Is this maybe good for a Blood Surge build? No, this is made for the Blood Surge build. There's not even a question. Now the funniest aspect that I actually thought was not so good first, but it's insane. Each % of your maximum life you heal beyond 100% grants you 0.5% plus bonus overpower damage on your next overpowering attack, up to a 60% bonus. That's a minimal gain, but considering that your Blood Surge leeches life and continuously overheals you because you're spamming like crazy blood surges, it would be stupid to not get free damage on top with cheese and cream. On the weapon, we're using the Blood Surge Double Nova Supernova, and you see I could get another 6%. You definitely want that. Boots have the skeletons on it. Pants have the damage reduction for skeletons, and technically that could get replaced at some point. The gloves are playing now, finally, the aspect of the Grasping Veins for the 12% increased critical strike chance. That should be 20 and 60. So I definitely need to find a better role for this because yes, overpower can crit. And the most important aspect, which really creates cascading damage and also essence generation of death and doom. Whenever your blood skills overpower, you gain 50% attack speed for 4 seconds. And that just works so well. It's 50% plus bonus attack speed with the hemorrhage having already plus 20% attack speed, making it super fast. I tried this with a Reeb to kind of be like, okay, if I get the Blood Surge to overpower and then the 50% bonus attack speed, can this work? It can work, but the advantage of the hemorrhage is if the hemorrhage randomly overpowers, which happens, you get that 50% attack speed even from the hemorrhage for the Blood Surge too. So it's kind of like you overpower here, you do a few of this, in a millisecond you're up. Hemorrhage also has an insane range. Whereas Reap, you have to go close up into your opponent. Hemorrhage can be done from the other side of the room. I can be outside the room, behind the wall, and over the wall actually hit someone inside the room in case they have a very annoying enchantment. Hemorrhage has so many advantages. And yes, accidentally Hemorrhage can trigger Rathma's Vigor. But since this is only 12 seconds anymore, it doesn't matter. Plus, even if it does so, you get even more attack speed to then do even more blood surges to then do even more hemorrhages. Because with a bonus of attack speed, you do 5 blood surges in 1 second. Then you have another 3 seconds left to hemorrhage. And you only need like 1.5 seconds to fill your essence full up. So you could hammer out another 5 blood surges to then hemorrhage. And then since you overpowered and then you hemorrhage and then you overpower. And then even if you steal the overpower, you notice like you can essentially have infinite uptime in your essence as you go boom, boom, boom. And that's what you also see in the gameplay. It's exactly how it works. And it's not even holding you up, and it does still do good damage. The chest is having disobedience. Disobedience is your survival and your minions' survival tremendously, and then also the bonus skeletal warriors. As you notice, the helmet has maximum life and total armor. The chest has maximum life and maximum minion life. This is actually the perfect chest. Maximum life for me, minion life, all stats, and damage reduction from close. We have overpower damage on the gloves, blood surge, intelligence, and attack speed. You see, these are actually absolute ST items. Total armor, maximum minion life, damage reduction, and maximum life for me again. The boots are intelligence and all stats, plus damage reduction. The blood orb healing is higher. That I need boots that probably have dodge chance. Yeah. I mean, my rings are set. Nothing I can do there. This ring is also for maximum life and overpower damage. I want to have this with maximum minion life and maximum life, but I haven't found one. It's so hard to find. My offhand needs to have maximum minion life. Resource generation actually is really cute and works well. And the main hand is intelligence, all stats, overpower damage, and vulnerable damage, just boosting us into oblivion. Now for the Paragon board, I'm pretty much going to go on to the key notes and also to the glyphs. But for the whole rundown, again, there's a link in the description below. We're using here the Amplify glyph, which boosts the magic notes in range. So we get more armor, more damage, bonus willpower, and more damage, which works very well. And 10% multiplicative increased damage to enemies that are cursed, which we constantly do. Then we actually straight up go for the Bloodbath board because attacks that are guaranteed to overpower deal 50x increased overpower damage. Definitely want that, especially because you get 20% damage while fortified plus fortified generation. Then 25 damage while healthy and a lot of overpower damage and damage while healthy. And damage while healthy is really important. With the general overpower damage glyph, yes, this is Dominate. Dominate needs a lot of willpower around it. And it boosts your overpower damage. Plus, when you overpower an enemy, all damage they take from you and your minions is increased by 12% multiplicative. There you get also more healing. And yes, more healing is more damage because you soak yourself full. You get the overpower aspect. Boom. Held up by 20% damage while fortified. Fast forward, we're heading down here to the minion board for the damage reduction for your minions and the bonus damage. Technically, we could put the bonus damage away, but we kind of need to go this way anyways, and the Dead Razor rune needs a 40 intelligence to work. Then we're heading downwards to the Blood Begets board, but we're actually not picking this up because we're not really ever picking up many blood orbs during the fighting. But what we want is 60% overpower damage to overpower. Yeah. Hold up by 20% damage for 8 seconds after picking up a blood orb, but damage while healthy is more the thing that we want. And then down here, we actually put in the Imbiber, which is 53.5% damage while healthy, and you gain 30% increased potion healing, which you can also use before a fight to actually overheal for more overpower damage. But this is more for Imbiber actually getting us even more damage. We don't clap this because this is 10% blood orb healing and this is 20% more damage again. They're not really worth it. I'm mainly here to just squeeze the most overpowered damage out. Then we fly over the Scent of Death board for the bonus damage reduction as corpses are around us, or if no corpses in the beginning, then you actually get hugely more damage. And that is with Ruin now for damage to healthy enemies and critical strike damage increase. But we have here the crowd-controlled enemies, bonus damage with control, and 20% against stunned enemies. Yes, stunned enemies. With the constant grasping vein, tendrils works perfect on bonus armor, and also damage to injured enemies. Perfect. Now we're going fast forward up into the Bone Graft board. What? And the reason for that is the single note of tenacity for 8% more life and armor, followed up by 2, and 2% more life. There's no other node that gives that much life bonus. And we're going to head up here for the bonus life on minions because this bonus life is multiplicative and boosts your minions so much that they never die. Technically, I wouldn't probably need that because I'm already very good with the life leech, but it just feels better to really never have them die ever again. I will most likely make another version 5 of this because I'm not 100% happy with some of the choices, and I'm still not 100% secure about the damage while fortified. I'm very often fortified, and it works very well. And as far as I understood, damage while fortified currently works as you are fortified. So even if you have 1 point of fortify, you count as fortified in the system, and you actually get the bonus damage. So as long as that works, it might be worth it to actually cap these notes. But yeah, I'll probably have to have another rework of this Paragon board at some point, but right now this is what I feel secure about. Did the Blood Surge Summoner grab your interest? It's a brilliant one, and it might be my leveling build for season 1, if not the Sever Summoner actually overtakes it. And if you more want to talk about Diablo being the perfect game, we'll check out the lower video.